Good morning, friends. Happy Sunday. It is Sunday morning, and we are doing something fun today. My cousin and I are going to some plants swap thingy. We went there once before, and it takes place at a brewery, which is really fun. But everyone can come in, and you can swap plants, buy plants, give plants. And it's mainly house plants, and it's mainly kind of rare plants. I'm a houseplant person that has a lot of philodendron, a lot of spider plants, a lot of violets. Um, Easy, cheap, very common houseplants. Well, this place does not typically have those kind of plants. It's a much fancier kind of houseplant thing. So we went there a couple months ago, and they actually set up a free table. So I am somebody, like I said, I like the cheap houseplants. I like the philodendrons. I like the cheap stuff, the common stuff. So because this is such like a rare kind of plant expo, they actually bring a table where people bring in all of their extra free stuff, like extra common stuff, and they set up a free table. So last time I was here, I got a string of bananas. And if you know string of bananas, they're expensive. Now it's a small string, but it's already started growing. So like, I'll take the small ones and I'll grow them up. That's fine. I got a string of bananas. I don't even know what it's called. I'll show you. So, oh, it's kind of hard to see with the light, but this is what is my string of bananas, string of dolphins. It was just one little strand, but it is growing, so that's exciting. And then I also got this guy. Now this guy just broke. He actually went really big and he broke. So I have him in there. I'm trying to reroot him, but I still have this one in there. So I think this is just a generic philodendron, but I think he is so pretty. This is something I got from my cousin. She gave it to me on this day. I'm trying to get it to grow up this. It's a growing plant. I'm trying to get it to grow here, and it's not really growing too well. So I got all those for free, and when I go outside on the front porch, I also got a Wandering Jew for free that has taken off. So I'm super excited. I think this is a super exciting thing to go to. And I'm excited for the free plants. So this is what I got last time, and it was just literally, I think it was this guy here. One strand. And I just rerooted it, and you can see like it is just doing phenomenal. Okay, friends, well, we are back, and when I filmed this, I'm not quite sure what happened to my sound, but my sound is absolutely terrible, so I'm just going to try to talk over what I'm showing you, and hopefully I kind of hit the things that I was trying to say when I initially recorded this. This event was a lot of fun. I tried to capture a couple of videos. I did feel a little awkward, and I don't know what happened. I signed off before I just took you to the plant show, and I'm not quite sure what happened to that video. I'm having some technology issues today. I'm not a technologically savvy person. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. I'm really bad with technology, and so I do the best that I can. I need to hire like an IT person to help me. So this day I ended up walking away with, I think, about 6 plants. And they were all from the free table, and it was really, really exciting. Like I said, there are a lot more of the common plants. There was a lot of rare plants there and very expensive plants there, but I was able to walk away with some of the more common plants, plants that, you know, most people know what they are and have at least seen them. There were a lot of plants here that I thought were cool, but were hundreds of dollars or I had never even seen before. But it's fun to go and kind of see the whole thing. The one thing I will say is it was a 90-degree day. We were inside and outside, and a lot of my plants suffered shock, which is why I'm actually filming this a couple days, probably about a week or two after the actual event. I was trying to give my plants some time to come back from the shock. What I'm showing you here is an Asian violet. My cousin actually gave me a rooted Asian violet, and I'm trying to root it, and it's struggling a little bit. I was gonna actually pull it out of the pot thinking I had killed it completely, but I do think it has rooted. So I'm gonna try to put it in a different location. Maybe I have it in too much of a sunny location, and see if I can get it to kind of come back. But a lot of these plants, like I said, they were getting a little, they were definitely shocked. And you'll see when I got a peace lily that they were 100% shocked, did not enjoy the sun. Some I had to get trimmed, some are just still kind of struggling to come back. So we're just going to give them some time and kind of play with them, and they will be just fine. This is one of the ones too that also really suffered with the heat. So on all of those strings, I'm trying to show you here the coloring of those leaves. They're really pretty. On all of those strings that are currently bare, there were leaves on them, but they wilted to nothing in this heat at this plant swap. So I trimmed some of them. I don't quite know if I should cut the stems completely. Not 100% sure what I need to do there, but it's doing pretty good. So even if I don't cut it anymore, it's actually doing pretty good. It's picked back up. It looks a lot better than it did when I got it. So I was told this plant was called a peppercini, which to me just sounds like something I put on an Italian sub, but I'll take it. And I have that bird cage right there that I kept calling a lantern in this video. So we'll see if I keep it as a bird cage. But in that bird cage, I had an ivy in the bird cage, and it was hanging out of the bird cage, and it ended up dying. So my plan for this peppercini is to get that to be nice and full, and then put that in the bird cage, possibly with a white orchid. I could think a white orchid in that bird cage would be really pretty. And then just kind of have that peppercini kind of trail out the bars of the bird cage and get to be this beautiful trailing plant. I think that would look really cool. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I really wish I knew what I was saying. I really wish this sound didn't get messed up. The sound is actually pretty terrible. So this is, trust me, my voice right now is better than what you be getting from the video. And there, I just called it a lantern instead of a bird cage. I did know I did that, and I made a face at myself. It's been a long day. So here's the peace lily that I got. And this definitely showed the most signs of shock. And you can see that this is still not looking very good. And I don't necessarily think that this was just a sign of shock from the heat of the day. I think this might have been a little neglected plant before it came. Because it is not bouncing back up. It's a little popped up. Like you can see, it's not just dead. It's a little popped up, but it's not doing great at all. So I have a peace lily at work that I take care of, and that peace lily is doing fantastic. I have it in the perfect spot. I water it once a week, and it's loving life. So I know how to take care of peace lilies, but when I bring them into my house, for whatever reason, I kill them every single time. So I may need to play around with where I keep this guy. Right now I have him get an adequate light, but not in direct light, and he may need fertilizer. That's what I'm trying to show you here. There are some flowers on him, but they don't seem to have the energy to stand on their own. So he may need a boost of fertilizer. I don't really honestly fertilize my houseplants. I guess that's obviously something that I should do, but I just don't. But he may need it because it's been probably about 2 weeks and he is still struggling. He's on the struggle bus. So the next plant I got, I'm really excited about. So this is a Chinese money plant. And this, again, was on the free table, which I think is a steal because those plants are not expensive, but they're also, like, not super cheap. But I'm walking away because I want to show you, this is the current Chinese money plant that I have. And I think he is gorgeous. I've had him for a couple years at this point, and I actually form kind of a relationship with my plants. Where I just kind of I'm like, look at me, I kept you alive for 3 years. Like, we've bonded, and now I need you to be alive until I'm on my deathbed. So he's been doing fantastic. You can see I did move him to a different location in my house, and he looks like he's getting a little leggy. So I tried to put him in a sunnier location to see if we can combat some of that legginess. But I have this guy, and I got him as a clearance plant. And this is a tree that actually needs to be uppotted. He has a little baby growing at his, right there, you can see at his base. And I think he's gorgeous and fantastic, and I love him. But the one I just got at the plant swap, I'm not quite sure if that's the same kind of plant or not. And I'm going to show you some of the differences. But this guy has never kind of grown like the one that I have. He's always been this tree kind of shape. So I'm not 100% sure, but I know I love this plant, and I'm excited to see what this one is going to do. So you can see right off the bat the differences in the color, and then the differences in the shape of the leaves. That one right there is more like spade or heart shaped, and this one is round. I'm not quite sure if it's a different variety of Chinese money plants. If the tree that I have is not actually, if it was marketed as something other than what it was, will that little one turn into the big one? I'm not quite sure, but I'm excited to find out. I really love my tree, but I'm kind of excited to start with one so small and kind of take it into that tree, if that's where it goes, you know, kind of grow it up into a tree by myself. So this is the one I was most excited for. I have no idea what this is, but I got both the plant and the pot at the swap. So I actually had to come home. This is a climbing plant. It can be a climbing plant if you want it to be. So I actually had to, and you can see the stem I just pointed out. I actually had to come home and get materials to make a moss stick. I bought a moss stick for my other plant from the last time I went to the plant swap, and it's not real moss, so it doesn't hold on to water. So this is real moss, and this does hold on to water. My dog is barking, which is nice when the sound isn't working, because you don't know that my dog is barking, but I just asked her politely to stop barking, which she did. But I had to make my own moss pole, and I'm trying to get this guy to climb up it. What is cool about these kind of climbing plants is they can become these really magnificent kind of towers of leaves and towers of plants. And I think that would be pretty cool for like a corner. If you could get like a plant like this to get, you know, pretty big and make a big tower, I think it'd be really cool in a corner. Instead of having something like a traditional palm tree or a snake plant, you know, having a tower, a plant tower, I think would be pretty cool. So I'm just going to see what we can do. I'm kind of concerned with his, you can see where his roots are, and his roots are on the same side as the leaves. So I'm not quite sure. I have him kind of tied to this moss pole to encourage him to attach to it. But when his roots are on the same side as the side the leaves grow, I'm not quite sure how to do that. So we're just going to see. He's obviously doing well. He's loving life, and I am loving having all these plants. I also got a cactus at this event, just a small cactus that has been, it actually looked pretty dead. So that's outside, hopefully getting some rehabilitation so it can come inside. But this is what the plants typically look like when you bring them home. I got these two from my cousin. I think at this event she gave me these two on my way home. So they come out with just basically the roots. They just start rooting them, and then you take them home and you would put them in dirt. Or sometimes the one I did get today, or at this event, I got one. There was somebody who was passing out just a cut-in, and you have to take it home and root it yourself. So I'm trying to root that. I'm not having success yet. My plant looks pretty bad, so I'm not quite sure if I'm going to get that rooted or not. But either way, this is a super fun event. I think I'm going to stick to, though, only going in like the spring and the fall. In the summer, it's just too hot. The plants go through so much shock. And that's going to be the same in the winter. When you take these plants in and out of the cold in the wintertime, it's going to be the exact same thing of experiencing shock. So I think I'm going to make this like a spring and a fall event, and then see what plants I can get. I don't honestly have a ton of space for plants. What kind of sucks with my house is my southern side is the side that has my kitchen windows and my door, and you know, it doesn't have a lot of good windows for plants. So I really kind of have to shuffle where my plants go throughout my house. And I really like having plants throughout the house, but my house is really just kind of not conducive for that. So I need to cut back on how many plants I get. But I am clearly done here, so I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, friends.